Elijah, first off, thank you for joining us and welcome to WAER.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Let's start off and talk about Report for America. What is that program and what does it do and how did that get you here?
Sure. Yeah, so Report for America is basically a national service program that puts journalists in areas of the country that don't have enough news coverage. And so I've actually done Report for America once before this. I was in rural South Carolina, and when I was there, I was covering a rural community that hadn't had any local news coverage in about 10 years. And so now I was in a newsroom in New Hampshire for a little while, and now I'm here at WAER as the health reporter through Report for America.
Have you always done that? Has that always been your main focus, health?
I haven't. It's kind of evolved over the years. I was specifically covering rural issues when I was in South Carolina, but when I was there, I found that health was one of the biggest issues that needed coverage and needed kind of my attention as a Report for America corps member. And so over the years, as I've been a reporter, a young reporter just for a few years out of journalism school, I've kind of turned towards health. I've kind of found it as my beat and kind of the niche that I really want to be in as a reporter.
The way the system works, the station gets to pick somebody, but you also get to choose where you want to go. You wanted to come to WAER. Why?
Yeah, well, I have always been a print journalist, and so the opportunity to get into broadcast radio and to get onto an NPR affiliate was really exciting for me. And so, for all the listeners out there, this is actually my first audio broadcast. And so I'm going to be learning the whole process in addition to what I already know as a print reporter and as an investigative journalist. So this is really going to be about, learning as I kind of get settled here into Syracuse and into this community. I'm going to be learning this whole new process, but I also have some experience with written journalism, print journalism. And so I'm kind of like looking to merge those processes together. And that's kind of all what Report for America is all about, that, and pushing us to really advance our skills as journalists and kind of break into, a type of journalism that has been missing from the local news scene for a long time.
Well, one of the things we should talk about, so you're learning how to do the audio side of things, but you're also going to be reporting on a new area. I know Syracuse was attractive to you because of some health things that you identified as something you'd like to cover. Can you talk a little bit about those?
Sure. Yeah, I'll start with New Hampshire, actually. So when I was there, up until very recently, I kind of found my niche as an investigative reporter covering the failures of New Hampshire's Medicaid program, which is run by the state, and their Department of Health and Human Services. And so when I was there, I was particularly focused on how Medicaid funds nursing homes. And so I did an investigative series on the Medicaid program there. And what I kind of found there was that Medicaid health insurance, how healthcare is delivered, is a really underreported area of local news. And Report for America is great in that there's tons of other health reporters who are out there across the country in this program who are doing health reporting. And here in Syracuse, I'm from upstate New York originally. I'm from Ithaca. And so I went to Ithaca College, and so that's about, an hour and 15 minutes away from here. So it was attractive to me to be able to, just be here and be close to home and my friends and family. But also because, Syracuse has all sorts of different health disparities that are really in need of the kind of NPR style of coverage. And so that was kind of the big thing that brought me here. And I'm interested in kind of all the different ways that kind of breaks down from, kind of children's health, maternal health, veterans health, all that kind of stuff. I'm interested in that, and I want to hear what people have to say just in these first few months as I kind of get sort of settled into this role.
And you're also looking for ideas from folks, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. How would they get a hold of you if that's...
Well, they can reach out to my email, which is it's EDCastr, EDECASTR, and then at Syracuse, syr.edu. And we can put that in the description of this. But reach out to my email if you have any story ideas or if you have any, sort of areas of the community that need coverage. I'm also going to be out in the rural areas. Please reach out to me. I would love to hear from you. And we don't even have to have a particular story idea, but just to kind of educate me on what's going on.
And before we let you go, give us a little taste or something to look forward to. What are maybe a couple of stories we will be hearing about soon?
Sure. Yeah, so I'm I'm also trained in solutions journalism, which is an approach to journalism that focuses on kind of social responses to problems. I think people often are a little bit sick of the media just constantly covering negative stories.
Pointing out the problems.
Right, exactly, yeah. And so one of the things that I'm hoping to do in these first few months is tell stories about things that are already working and keeping people healthy in the community, because I think people want to see a media that is, out there to both inform and create trust. And so one of the first stories I'm really interested in is the youth mental health crisis, and particularly what approaches are being taken in the community to address addiction problems, particularly vaping among young people, now that we know there's much more health effects of that than were kind of previously understood. So that's kind of something I have on my horizon right now. But I could go on forever about the number of different things I want to report on here.
Well, it sounds great. Once again, if folks have an idea and want to pitch it to you, how do they get a hold of you?
They can reach out to my email at edecastr@syr.edu.
Elijah, thank you so much. Good luck on the new gig.
Thank you, and thank you for having me.